If you have any questions, this is all about you, and you can go ahead and put your questions into the chat. So as the questions come in, we'll start answering, and in the meantime, I'm going to talk a little bit about our bonuses, as a driver for us, and then we'll also be talking about some health and wellness. Last week we talked about the importance of sleep and mental health, and this week we're going to focus more so on the nutrition, how nutrition can be beneficial to the driver, somebody out on the road, any of us really, whether we're in-house or out on the road. But either way, we've got info. We'll be sharing that information with you throughout today. Also, some updates on what's going on in the trucking industry and how that's going to affect us. We've got lots to talk about today. If you've ever worried that I didn't have enough to talk about, don't worry. We've got you covered. So welcome again to our January 18th edition. Starting off, let's talk just a little bit about some of the bonuses that we've got. We have our refrigerated bonus, which is, okay, well, let's start here actually. Let's talk about our sign-on bonus. Currently, we have a sign-on bonus that pays out quarterly. This is our quarterly accelerated bonus. That's a mouthful in everything that you're saying there, but basically what it means is that you're going to get $5,000 total at the minimum, and you can make a little bit extra depending on the number of miles that you run. So again, going back to the refrigerated bonus. In the refrigerated division, if you're running over 25,000 miles for the month, or excuse me, for the quarter, then you're going to get an extra 5 cents a mile on all the miles over 25,000 for that quarter. Now, if you're running over 20,000 for the quarter in the flatbed, then you're going to get an extra 5 cents a mile on all the miles over the 20,000. So yes, we've got a little bit different bonus structure. I mean, the payout is going to be the same way, where it pays out quarterly, $12.50 each quarter, but the mileage requirement is going to be a little bit different based off of the division, whether it's flatbed or refrigerated, because obviously we're running more miles in the refrigerated division. That being said, I do want to congratulate Milton Husband, who has been with us for 3 months. So Milton, with the short time that you've been here, and I've emailed him this morning, so he already knows this, but for the rest of you, the short time he's been here, he was one of the 5 people that was paid out for the quarterly bonus this week, and he actually ran the most miles, and he was my only flatbed driver for the quarter. That received the quarterly bonus this week. Now, we do pay out the quarterly bonus each week based off of when you started, and his start date was 3 months from today, or actually 3 months getting paid out this week. That being said, he did exceed the miles of everybody else, so he got an extra 5 cents a mile on all the miles that he ran for the quarter. So congratulations, and we love to see that. Keep it going, you guys. That's just one of the bonus. Now, again, it's going to be $12.50 for the quarter, and all the miles that you run over 20,000 for flatbed, 25,000 for refrigerated, you'll get an extra 5 cents a mile on all those miles. That is just the sign-on bonus. We have our monthly bonuses as well, but in order to get to the monthly bonus, we have the Driver of the Month awards. So that kind of gives you, we've got stepping stones, I guess. And actually it goes in reverse, now that I'm saying this out loud. For our scorecard bonus, which is one of our 2 monthly bonuses that we do offer, our scorecard bonus pays an extra 4 cents a mile for our company drivers, an extra 3 cents a mile for our owner-operators lease purchase. The difference between the two is that with the owner-operator lease purchase, we don't figure in your idle time and your fuel efficiency or your fuel compliance, whereas we do as a company driver. We figure that if you're compliant with the fuel and you're efficient with the idle time, you're going to see a big, huge, actually, difference in your pay if you weren't. So yes, you got to stay on top of that as an owner-operator or lease purchase individual. your success really is gauged based off of your fuel efficiency. Makes a huge difference if you didn't already know that. So that's what we're going to talk about today, just breaking it down and what the other criteria are. So the other criteria for the scorecard is our, again, with the company driver, it's the fuel compliance, idle time, and then you have your CSA points. If you had any CSA violations for the week or for the month, if you had any preventable accidents for the month, if you had a late delivery or a driver service failure for the month, if you weren't available, or excuse me, if you didn't get the mileage requirement for the month, that's another one. Now every mileage is doable, by the way. If you don't get it, let me rephrase that. If every division is a little bit different, so Midwest flatbed isn't going to have the same requirement as our over-the-road refrigerated. If you've got 2,700 miles for the refrigerated, then you're going to meet the minimum requirement, where for our Midwest flatbed, 1,800 is the requirement. So like I said, definitely doable, and that's averaging that on a weekly basis versus not getting it. So that's one of the requirements as well for the scorecard bonus. And then of course your idle time, your claims, preventable accidents, that kind of stuff is all factored in. Now in addition to the monthly bonus, which can get you 4 cents a mile, and depending on 1,000 points is a perfect score. If you get 850, 900, you could be anywhere from 1, 2, 3, or 4 cents more per mile based off of that scorecard. But we also have a penny per mile bonus that pays out for the Smart Drive. Our Smart Drive, for those of you who are not aware of it, is it's one of our safety features in our truck. So, and it actually includes quite a bit of features itself. It has the inward and outward facing event recorder or camera. It has the fuel or the idle time. It has the lane departure. It has following distance, speed gauge. So there's a lot of factors in the Smart Drive itself. And if your Smart Drive score is less than 20 points or less, then you'll get an extra penny per mile on all the miles that you ran for that month. So remember though, when you're talking about miles that you ran for the month, and I'm just going to come over here, can you guys see that? You can't. Now you can. All right, so looking at the calendar, if you ran from, we're using January as an example, so if you ran, whatever you ran from the 1st of the month to the 31st, and it has to be in by the 31st, Sunday the 31st. If the load is not, meaning you have to deliver it on Monday or Tuesday or something, the 1st or 2nd, then the miles on that load will not count towards that month. It has to be completed on that month. And that's one thing that may confuse you, but it's consistent, and that way it's consistent for payroll as well. So that's how we figure it. So all miles that are completed within the pay period or within that month, and in this case, so those are all calculated, and then you'll get that penny raise or penny bonus based off of the miles that you ran for the month. Again, you can have a total of 5 cents more per mile as a company driver as an owner-operator lease purchase. So if you lose points this month, you have no bearing on next month. Absolutely. Speaking of mulligan and not having any bearing, we have guaranteed pays across the board, whether you're talking about refrigerated, flatbed, Midwest, van, really any of our divisions we do. So if you were to, let's see, for example, if you were to have a late load or a violation or a preventable accident for this week, it's not going to have any bearing on next week or the week prior. It's on a week-by-week basis. Again, that's the guaranteed pay. And the guaranteed pay has very similar qualities or qualifying factors as the scorecard. Not exactly, but very similar. So as long as you don't have any moving violations or CSA violations for the week, no preventable accidents for the week or incidents, You don't have any driver service failures, so you've got on-time delivery. You haven't turned down a load for the week, and you've been available at least 5 days out of the week. Those are all factors for the for the weekly guaranteed pay or the minimum pay, depending on which division you're in. You'll have at least $1,000 across the board is for our minimum pay. Although for a lot of those divisions, you'll be averaging $1,300 to $1,400, $1,500 in some cases, based off of your experience and the pay. If you have any questions on what you are getting paid currently for all of our current drivers, make sure you reach out to your fleet manager to get that information. If you are interested in coming to Decker and you want to know what your rate of pay would be to start, then, and remember, rate of pay is going to be the pay per mile. That $1,000 is guaranteed in case of weather or any qualifying factor, really, anything that's out of your hands. That's going to keep you safe and have allow you to keep a budget, is what that $1,000 is going to be. So if you have any questions to that, then just reach out to one of the recruiters and we can give you details based off of how much experience you have and what division you are looking to get into. So the best number here is 888-668-0698. That's the best way to get a hold of one of the recruiters to get more details on that. So those are our bonuses. Again, the Smart Drive bonus, 20 points or less for the month, will get you an extra penny per mile, and the scorecard will get you an extra 4 cents a mile, or up to an extra 4 cents a mile, depending on your overall experience, your overall score. There we go. 1,000 points is the max, and that's what we'd like to see you guys get on a regular basis. Now, in addition to those 2 bonuses, the sign-on bonus that we also have the Driver of the Month, which the Driver of the Month is kind of a reflection of the Scorecard and Smart Drive based off of each division. So the top driver, and a lot of the criteria is based off of the Smart Drive and the Scorecard bonus, and then you're also voted on by the fleet managers, the driver managers, fleet managers, whatever, however you refer, the safety department, all of operations and maintenance, etc. So all of those people will be doing the voting for the Driver of the Month each month. So I guess it was for December, our December Driver of the Month for our Western Refrigerated Division, which is our coast-to-coast division, was Rita Tyler. So congratulations to Rita. And then Timothy Whitesell was our nominee. So what does the Driver of the Month get, and what does the nominee get? Now, depending on the number of drivers in each division, we might have 1 or 2, or maybe not even any nominees. Again, it just depends on the size of each division. Well, in the Western Division, we have 1 nominee, and then, of course, 1 winner. The winner gets a $100 gift card to Walmart, and then a $50 gift card to our Decker store. So you can get merch like this, all kinds of goodies. And then our nominee will receive a $50 gift card to Walmart and a gift from the Decker store that Steph will get out to you. Now our Midwest Flatbed, Shane Lund is the winner for our Midwest Flatbed. Our Southern Flatbed, Donnie Neely is our winner there, and Brett McCrae is our nominee. So congratulations to both of you. Spencer Showers is our winner for our Midwest Refrigerated. Todd Hawkins and Dean Sosek are our nominees for the month. And our owner-operator lease purchase, Charles Wobel, is our winner for the month of December. So congratulations, you guys, to each of you. And remember, you'll be getting a message from either Steph or Katie on how you want to receive those, if we need to mail them out, or how you want to receive that, or pick them up, depending on how often you're at the terminal. Hi, Tim. Tim is here. Amy did make it today. Hello, hello. Spared some time to jump in on, getting lunch. Well, perfect. Love it. I'm glad you did. So congratulations to those who won the Driver of the Month for the month. Now, the Driver of the Month is leading into yet another bonus. The other bonus is the Driver of the Year. Now we have 6 divisions for the Driver of the Year. We have our Midwest Refrigerated, our Midwest flatbed, we have our over-the-road refrigerated, which is our Western refrigerated, and we have our Southern flatbed, which is our over-the-road flatbed. And then we have our teams, and we have our owner-operator lease purchase division. So we've got 6 altogether. And the number, first of all, you have to have earned Driver of the Month once within that calendar year. If you've earned Driver of the Month, then everybody who was in owner-operator lease purchase for Driver of the Month, so those up to 12 drivers at the point. Now, sometimes if we didn't have somebody reach the criteria for Driver of the Month in any of the divisions, like for this week was our teams, or maybe they did, they've already earned that title, then we don't have a winner for that division for that month. Now, that being said, moving over to the Driver of the Year. The Driver of the Year gets a $3,000 cash bonus that is normally rewarded to you during March, April, during our awards ceremony. However, I've got to get more details to you out on that because of COVID and some of the restrictions that are here, and we want to make sure that we're keeping everybody safe. I am guessing we're going to be doing a little bit different awards and ceremony than we have in the past. But don't worry, we'll keep you updated on that so that you know a little bit more about what's going on. Okay, so for the Driver of the Year, you do need to have the Driver of the Month once within the calendar year. And then of those Driver of the Years, we then go through and calculate how many 1,000s, or what's the highest scores that everybody was getting, the consistency of your scorecard, as well as the consistency of your smart drive. So those are 2 factors. And then from there, you are voted on through the different departments. So it's kind of a voting criteria. But you first have to meet the smart drive and the scorecard. You need to be top in those for your division in those 2 areas before moving on to the next step. So in the past, we'll probably have 4 or 5 that are pretty darn close, or maybe even tied for those numbers, and then they're voted on. Now, $3,000 per driver, or per division, is awarded for the top, the Driver of the Year or Team of the Year for that division. Once those are chosen, we'll have those 6 individuals, then you are put into yet another evaluation, I guess is the best way to put it, and then we will choose a grand champion. The grand champion is awarded $15,000 in cash and just one lump sum. And this criteria is the same. The top driver over all of the divisions will receive this prize. And again, we'll get more information out to the awards assembly and how we're going to be ending up doing that. Amy says, is it me or is it just the echo's bad today? It could very well be let me turn this down. It's probably me. I was having trouble with audio again. I don't know what gets changed during updates on the computer and all of a sudden it's working. How's that? Is that any better? I turned down my audio. I'm a yeller, I guess. I turned well, it says, where are the comic cards in, the Chrome data cards? You should get a hold of Jason, and they should be on one of the tables in the driver's lounge. They might even be in some of the drawers in some of the private rooms available to you. Amy says, just drive a Montana frog, you will find your own. Tim says, yes, feedback on audio is bad today, makes it sound like she has a cold. I don't. No, I just don't. Okay, it should be better though, right? Yeah, no, yeah. I turned it down, it was way high. But to be fair, it was showing way high before to me, and Anna couldn't hear me at all. So I don't get it. I don't get it. Drink my tea. All right, so talking a little bit more about the bonuses, because this is always fun to talk about when money's flying at you. We've talked about the sign-on bonus. We've talked about the monthly scorecard bonus, the smart drive bonus. We've talked about the driver of the month, the driver of the year, and the grand champion. We have more. We have our referral bonus. Honestly, as a recruiter, I love the referral bonus for you guys because, one, it pays, I totally do. One, it pays really well, and two, you don't have to wait a whole year for it to pay out. It pays quickly. So it pays at within 90 days. And it does pay in lump sum, so those of you who don't like it all in, well, let me rephrase that. It pays in intervals, so those of you who don't like the lump sum because you feel like you're getting taxed more, putting in a different tax bracket, that's okay. The increments are smaller, but you're still getting that money out. It's not so small, you don't know so here's how it works. For every referral that you bring on, you're going to get $1,500 paid to you within the first 90 days of their hire. That said, $250 is given to you on their first dispatch. And your referral bonuses are paid out during your normal settlement time. So you'll get it every Friday. Well, you'll get it on Friday that you receive the referral bonus as your normal settlement. So $250 on their first dispatch, $250 after they've been here for 30 days, and then you'll get $500 after they've been here for 60 days, and the remaining $500 after 90 days. Now that's if you refer 1, 2, or 3 drivers within the calendar year, and you'll get the same. You'll get $1,500 per driver. That's the first part. What you also get, there's a lot of incentives, by the way, for the referral bonus. You'll also get the referral shirt. You've got that. If you refer 2 drivers, you get a Sirius radio for the bonus. That's one of the bonuses that you get. You also, if you've referred 3 drivers, you get a driver referral card. These are pretty sweet, by the way. The driver referral cards, like elite referral cards, they've got your information on them, they've got your name and your truck number. So if they don't contact the recruiting department right away for information, they'll still have that card available with your information. So maybe a month or 2 down the road, there's still your referral. And that, again, that pays $1,500 per driver. Now, if you refer 4 or 5 drivers within the calendar year, within 2021, then you're going to get an extra. You're going to get $2,000 per driver instead of $1,500 per driver. So the payout's going to be a little bit different. You're looking at, if I can do my math accurately, no, it's $250 first dispatch, $250 after 30 days, $750 after 60 days, and $1,000 after 90 days. And then for those of you who refer 6 or more drivers within the calendar year with 2021, then you're going to get $250, $250, $500, and $1,000. Did I say that right? $250, $250, $7. Yeah. If you get paid within 90 days, within 90 days, clearly I'm great at that. Yeah. So that is the pay for the referral bonus. But there's other, if you refer 5 or more drivers within 2021, then you have a chance to win the grand prize. But you also get an elite business card or elite jacket with all that information on it as well. So you have more ways to earn. We love that. Right. Any questions on that? Apple computer. They do? I've never had an Apple. Just don't. I've done them, but yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Also, remember for the referral bonus, if you have 5 or more referrals within the year, you can qualify for the top referrer for the year. So you have to have at least 5, and that gives you, in addition to all the other incentives and bonuses, gives you an additional $2,500. But only one grand champion for the referral bonus, and the minimum is 5 referrals for that. Anybody have any questions on the referral bonus itself? If not, we can move forward. And we have quarterly drawing. So our last quarterly drawing, John Smith won that. That was on the 31st of December. Yeah, that's what it was. On the 31st of December. So our next quarterly drawing, the first quarter will be on April 1st, I believe. April 1st. I love doing it on April 1st because it's like April 1st. Amy, up in Towersville for her appointment. I'm glad the roads are good for you. Stay safe though. Right, so yes, that is, those are the bonuses. Those are our bonuses that are available. Always, if you have questions on them, reach out to one of the recruiters who will be able to give you more details on that. And again, that's 888-668-0698. Speaking of bonuses, Thomas Remington and Nelson Moreno, you both received your first payment for the referral bonus. You will be receiving it this week, so you'll get $250 each of you for your referrals. Yeah, 2 referrals. What else do we have here? I'm not sure if this is the first referrals of the year. I didn't even look at that. I probably should have. Maybe. All right. Also, as a reminder, we have a lot of amenities in the truck. If you're not familiar with that, some. Lots of amenities in the truck. We just started offering the free Wi-Fi as well as all of our other amenities. So let's talk about the amenities. This is a fun list. For me, it's a fun list. So we have APUs in the truck. We have bunk heaters, of course. We have inverters, CD units. Yes, these are regular CD units. We have navigation, Sirius radio. Sirius radio, all the equipment's there for you, but you do need to have a subscription. However, if you remember, during the referral bonus explanation, if you refer 2 or more drivers within a year, within the calendar year, we pay a 12-month subscription for your Sirius radio. Okay, so we got that. What else do we have? We have TVs, plus we have our company-paid satellite television, which is a program, which is more than 100 channels, and it's going to include like Sunday tickets, it's going to include HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, lots in there. So if you haven't checked that out, we've got a lot of those. We have microwaves in the truck, which is fantastic, and now we're transitioning from the Omnitrax to the Transpo Geotab in the truck, which I've heard positive things with, had a little quirks that we've worked out, so if you have any issues, please reach out to us. And we've already done some updates for it as well. So if you have like an Apple, if you have an iOS system that you're using for your Transpo app on your phone, then, where's my phone? Then you might have issues with the updates because they're working on something with the Transpo. But if you are having problems, please reach out to us. You can reach out to Ashley, or you can reach out to myself, and we can get you some help with troubleshooting if you have any issues with it. If you're not awesome, we'd love your feedback on that, by the way, because we did switch to the Transflow app, this Transflow Geotab unit, because it is supposed to be more efficient for you. It's supposed to be more user-friendly and just more accurate altogether. So we did this with you guys in mind, hoping that this is going to be the best fit for you, have the best accuracy with the routing, and you might not only the routing, but with miles and all of that stuff. So if you have that stuff, right there, you guys. Let me know what you think. It also, in the Transpo Geotab unit, it also has an opportunity for you to link your Weigh My Truck app. Now, if you are not already using Weigh My Truck, I highly suggest you do. We pay for scales, and we've got the CAT Scale app that is available to you, so please use it. If, however, you don't scale a load and you are ticketed, it falls back on you as the driver. We pay for these, so please use it. We had, I think, 3 in the last several weeks. We had 3 tickets, 3 violations for not weighing the load. And there shouldn't be an excuse for it. that's valid at least. If you are not close enough to a tax scale, but there's another scale available, then just contact Bruce so that we can get you guys the right, or so that we can get you guys the money to cover that scale, the scaling of that load. It is very, very important, and it is a whole lot cheaper if you scale the load prior to going down the road than if you just don't scale the load and take your chances. Just please scale it. And now I'm on a soapbox here. Scale the load, we are paying for that. Do not let that become a violation for you. If you have a cat scale 60 miles down the road and you've got another scale there locally, call Bruce, he'll get you the money, the funds that you need to cover the scale so that you're not going 60 miles down the road, find out that you were too heavy and then have to turn all the way around. You're losing miles, you're losing time, and whatever other expense. So please do that. If you have any questions, give us a call, 888-668-0690, so that we can take care of that for you. Also, when it comes to, we've got Weigh My Truck app, we're talking about truckers against trafficking, more information for you this month. It is Human Trafficking Awareness Month. So again, signs that you want to look for trafficking prevention, I guess is the best way to put it. If somebody is, well, I guess somebody that's more vulnerable for trafficking is someone who has an unstable living situation, if they've previously experienced sexual abuse or domestic violence, if they've run away or if they've been involved in the juvenile justice system or the welfare system, if they're undocumented immigrants, they're facing poverty or economic needs, if they have a caregiver or family member who has substance abuse, and or if they're addicted to drugs. Those are all signs that they are more vulnerable to trafficking. If a minor, someone who's younger than 18 years of age, is providing services, sexual services, that is considered trafficking. So please contact the helpline, make the call, save the lives at 888-373-7888. And I learned yesterday, Sheldon said that there are resources that are created, and you can access that through the online website, humantraffickinghotline.org. There are resources to provide funds to help some of these people who've experienced some of these victims get out of their situation. So there are funds available to help support getting them clean, getting them, providing them opportunities. So please reach out. Again, that number is 888-373-7888. We want to help anybody that would see that in a situation like that to prevent it. Speaking of situations and staying safe, there is, you guys are familiar with Luma. Luma is our training platform, which, by the way, we have a quarterly safety training that's out. It's due by the 31st of January, so you have to have that completed by the 31st. You log into luma.com. It is going to be your driver code, I think. Is it your driver code? Well, use your email address, and then the password should be the last four of your cell phone. If you have questions or if you have any issues, get a hold of either your fleet manager or your recruiter to help you troubleshoot, log into the Luma. But Luma.com, it's e-nugget learning is what it's all about, and that's the quarterly safety training. However, there's also a free training if it's something you're interested in. It's how to stay safe during these protests. So I know with a lot of the driver unrest or the political unrest, that's out there going on right there, we need to keep our drivers safe. We need to keep you away from the protests whenever possible. One thing that you need to be aware of is who you can contact, where you can park, that kind of stuff. I don't know if anything will happen, but I do know that there were a couple of instances late in 2020 that there were serious injuries and fatalities when these protests came about. So, yeah, I mean, the links are working again. We've got her on full power here, so she's monitoring away. So, to keep you guys safe out on the road, this movement training is available, and it's available to anybody. So, Amy, if you guys wanted to take it, you can check it out, you can kind of educate yourself on it. Just like everything else, knowledge is power, just like with the human trafficking awareness. Having that information, knowing that does give you power to help make decisions and help prevent issues that come about. So knowledge, knowing that, knowing before you get there if there is a protest. For the most part, a lot of these protests, a lot of them are not, I shouldn't say low-key, but they're civil. They're not violent. And you can access a lot of that information through websites. But pay particular attention to the news sources, social media accounts, anybody that's reporting within the travel. So if you're not already part of our Facebook groups, we have 2 different groups. We have the Truck Drivers Support for Truck Drivers Group. We also have the Decker Complaint Drivers Group. Those are 2 different groups that you can access this information, and we will just pump that out and provide that information to you as soon as we can get it. So check the websites for the police departments, for the municipalities, for any of the areas that you're traveling through. That's key because they list a lot of that on there. And many of them, they have those planned protests, like I said, and they'll have road closures posted. Gather as much information as possible so you can plan alternative routes according to any of these protests that come about. Do not park on streets or outside of the customer gate if there are protests nearby. Do not do that. When the roads are bad, we stop. We wait it out, right? We had to deal with that this last week. The same type of scenario. And, it's a disaster waiting to happen, if you want. So use the same type of plan for the protest. If it's not safe to drive through, because through a city or whatever, because of a protest, don't go into that city. We will talk to your driver manager, talk to safety, whoever you need to, in order to get you rerouted to keep you safe. So instead stop someplace where you're safe and just wait it out. We want you to be safe. You guys are our most important asset. I would say so. You are important. We cannot risk having you hurt. Your family can't risk having you hurt. You can't risk having hurt. And there has been instances with the protest. So please be safe and make sure you're keeping yourself well educated on how to handle it. Now, speaking of being well educated on it, cell phones, radios, CDs, internet, satellite TV, basically any mobile communications, we have all kinds of things in the truck. We have pretty much all of those in the truck. If you have a cell phone, you've got all of it. Because we've got free Wi-Fi, we've got the satellite TV, we've got CDs in the truck, we've got our radios and our Sirius XM, we have the geotab units in the truck, the Qualcomm. So you have multiple streams of communication to stay in contact with your driver manager, to stay up to date with the local news and everything. Make sure you are using all of those resources so that you are the most well-informed individual going into that place. Now, by knowing what you're getting into before you get there, it's going to keep you posted with any of those ugly situations or disasters that might come about. Again, your safety is important, is top priority here. So keep in touch with your dispatch, like I said. Keep in touch with the customers, with where you're delivering. So if they have an active protest in the area, they'll have those updates. I'm sure they'll have those updates posted. And if it is close to the customer, a good chance that they might be closed as well. So you need to call ahead, find out before you deliver, and just don't go in until you are sure that protest is over and that the customer is open. We don't want to put you in that kind of situation. So make sure your cell phones, your communications that I mentioned, your cell phones, CDs, internet, satellite, all of that. Make sure that those are charged. So we just don't want you to wind up in a difficult situation and they have a dead battery and cannot communicate to anybody or call someone to take care of their safety, 911, whoever. So, like I said, alternative routes. Are there protests planned in the city? Things that we need to know. If there are, find an alternative route, especially if you're traveling through that city during that time of the protest. So most demonstrations, like I said, that are held, they're held in the evening and they run into the night. But most of them are calm and chill and simple, but there are some that get out of control, and that's why we just don't want to take the chance. So now that we've kind of looked at some of those to avoid the protests, let's kind of take a look at what you do if you do find yourself in the midst of those. And remember, you can kind of give yourself enough forewarning because you can see ahead to see if that something is coming about. Michael says, going to take my refresher course at a truck driver school. I want to do reefer or flatbed with you guys. Awesome! That sounds great. Just give us a call once you've taken care of that. Michael, how many, the other day you mentioned this too, how much driving do you have altogether? Because we have just changed our requirements to 5 months for the refrigerated and van division, 5 months for the refrigerated and van division is required. However, 9 months for the flatbed division. No, Tim, you cannot run down the protesters. That is not a good idea. So let's see, what can you do? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about reaction. If you do find yourself in there, you can be observant, obviously. Look ahead. If there's a crowd ahead of you, don't go there. Do not go there. You either turn around or you turn down a side street. If you can't do either of those, set your brakes and stop. Never drive toward that crowd. This could be interpreted as aggression. It can make tension higher, just increase the tension. If it's safe to do so, set those brakes, lock the doors, and walk away from the truck toward the police. But that is, again, if it's safe. If they are right there and you're full blown, don't stay there. Lock the doors. If your truck is equipped with an escape door in the sleeper compartment, make sure that it's locked as well. Some escape doors can be opened from the inside the side box. This is one of the reasons why you should always keep your side box locked when in transit. Keep those locked too, so that you have your doors are all locked, your side boxes are all locked, all of the above. Like I said, set your brakes. The sound of your air brakes will let those protesters know that you're parked and that your intent is not to harm them with the truck. And it's a simple task. It goes a long way in helping to diffuse the situation when there's protesters that feel like they've been threatened because of the appearance of a truck can be intimidating. Remain professional. Try to avoid any conversing with any of the protesters. Don't get wrapped up into that. And however, though, if you do find yourself in a situation where you're interacting with protesters, treat them with the utmost respect. Be kind. Remember, honey, be kind. Be kind. What else? Remember, if the tensions are really high. So you're the professional truck driver. Just keep your chill, keep it cool. It's not the place to voice your political opinions, especially if you're not agreeing with them. It's not your place to speak your political opinions. It's not a place to contradict any of the opinions. You are one against many if that's the case. And again, your safety has got to be, there's my safety first little message. Your safety has to be a priority. It is a priority to us. It should be a priority to you. I want my logo here. I don't see it. I started deleting things the other day and I don't see it. And this is any comments here. It would function and prove a point that the drivers are not driving stupid. Possibly. But you could get hurt in the meantime and we don't want to take that chance. So how come you don't listen to me, damn it? Yeah, it's your job to keep yourself safe, the truck safe, the trailer safe. Basically, arguing or going after somebody, it's going to prevent that accomplishment. You're not going to accomplish the goal if you do that. Call the police, give them your location. That's why it's so important to have that battery charged on your cell phone. Give them your location, fill them in on the details of the situation that you're in. What kind of things you're calling in, if you're calling hazmat, make sure you need to report that to the police. Call your dispatch queue. If your truck's equipped with the panic button, press it. In most systems, this will activate the dash cam and alert your carrier for the situation. So we've got the smart drive system in the truck. Push that button so that it's activated. If you feel more comfortable on that, turn that on. You've got your inward and your outward facing recorder on there to keep you safe. If you see any police vehicles or any police at all, then and you safely get to them, then go ahead and do that for your truck and walk to the police and then go ahead and do so. Going home safely to your family should be your top priority. Flat out, period. Your truck, your trailer, your load, they're not worth risking your life over. We do want you to take care of them, but at the same time, your life is a priority. Your safety is a priority. Don't risk it. That's it. Don't risk it, period. Be aware of your alternate routes, like I said, knowing what alternatives you have. If you do your research ahead of time, you're going to be forewarned for the most part. So if you find yourself diverted into a detour, remember that people are approaching the detour. They might not consider trucks. They might not consider them. Main traffic areas, most likely they have. But in a situation where they haven't, just be extra aware of your surroundings. They might have routed you down an area that's a no truck route. So be watchful for little bridges, little branches, tight turns, things like that could not only damage the truck, but low bridges just keep you stuck and put you in a very dangerous situation again. So, Michael says, I've been driving in Class B since 2016 locally, which is not tractor trailer. Okay. He needs to do a refresher course instead so he can get the experience with that Class A, and then we're going to see if we can help him out. Other things, these are key as well. If you're coming into an instance like that, if you're being approached or approaching a protest, put up your windows, roll those windows up, turn off your air, your heater, so no air conditioning, no heater. I'm sure you're not probably going to have your air conditioning on this time of year, but just in case. And if the protest heats up, sometimes they're throwing tear gas or deterrents towards the trucks. They get deployed. And if you have your air on, your air conditioning or your heater on, it's going to bring those fumes into you. So by keeping your windows up and your fans off, you will minimize the amount that gets into your cab. Still things can get into your cab, but it will be minimal in comparison. And know the lead. If there are protesters at your delivery location, do not attempt to deliver. Again, our priority, your priority, is your safety. So continue on, find a safe place to park, and then report the problem to your driver manager, your dispatcher. Never ever try to force your way through a picket line. You hear that? You hear that, Tim? Never ever. So never argue with protesters. Do not order protesters to move out of your way. Don't sit there and yell at them and say, there's probably a lot of them. And there's one of you, so you cannot be the aggressor. You will not win. Even with, an 80,000 pound vehicle, you will not win. Never try to use your truck as a battering ram to push people out of the way. You'll incite them, and you'll find yourself in a really worse situation. Never display a weapon, or make a threat, or a threatening gesture even to the protesters. And never go around barricades. They're most likely placed there to keep you away from the protesters. So do not go around them. Find an alternative route. Remember, no matter how much planning and preparing, just like anything else, you never know what might come up in a protest. So many of them are peaceful demonstrations, but occasionally they do turn violent. So make sure that you're not inflaming the protesters. Please remember that your first priority, I keep saying this, but it is true, and you have to keep this in mind. Your first priority should be your personal safety, your safety, your health. It is not worth fighting a crowd over your truck or over your load. Your safety comes first. So make sure you do everything you can to calm down the situation so that you'll be able to go home safely. What's all said and done? Right? Priorities, know them. There's only one of you, Anna says. Safety first. Well said. Speaking of one of you, your health should also come first. So, on a whole nother road, let's talk about your health and keeping yourself safe and healthy. Sleep. Last week we really talked about sleep and how important it is. It's essential. You're essential. It's got to come hand in hand, right? If you're not getting the amount of sleep that you should, your brain isn't working properly. Mental health is important, but it's not just mental health as in staying even killed, but it's everything. I mean, not getting enough sleep can you lose focus on things. You're tired. You can't continue the work that you're doing. You make poor choices, whether they're the choices on what to eat or how you react to something. So you want to be positive. You want to look after yourself. Sleep is going to be your number one. Nutrition. That to me is number two. So sleep and nutrition are like, they go hand in hand. Yesterday on our Facebook Live, I talked about a 10-day detox. Now there are probably several different diets or detoxes that you can do to get some of that out of you. How long have I been frozen? I just realized this. Anyways, there's probably several out there, but my preferred is Dr. Hyman's 10-day detox. And I figured, you know what, you can tell that I like it because I've got all my little, and I have several of his cookbooks. I mentioned, or Sheldon mentioned yesterday, he was going to have, I've got food all over me. Okay. Sheldon mentioned that he's probably going to have me do a meal plan. You know what? My meal plans, I just go to the cookbook. Actually, what I do is I hand the cookbook to my husband and say, do it, and then he has to get the groceries, and then I'll cook it. But, because meal planning is something that can be a little stressful. I will have a meal plan for you guys based off of this in case you want it, so that you can benefit from it too. What I love about this is that if you are someone who eats a lot of carbs, if you eat a lot of sugars and things that really aren't good for you, if you're eating processed foods, they're not going to be good for you. They're going to have a lot of extras, a lot of fills that are going to make you want more. Those companies are created, and they're part of their job, part of their marketing strategy, and but they want you to keep buying more and more. And the more you crave, and the more addicting something is, the more you'll crave, and the more you'll buy. With this detox, this one specifically, and like I said, there's a lot of them out there, but with this one specifically, it is designed to get those cravings out of your system so that you will have control. And your body will start to function properly. If you have high blood sugar, if you have blood sugar issues, high blood pressure, if cancers and stomach issues and intestinal diabetes, there are so many things that this 10-day detox and many detoxes out there can help you with. Just remember when you're doing a detox that you're doing it with the proper nutrition. Just because you're doing a detox doesn't mean that you are limiting yourself to certain calories. You want good calories, but I'm still eating full meals on a 10-day detox. I'm not just eating smoothies, even though a smoothie can be one of the meals. I'm not just sitting there drinking beef broth all day long or something like that. I'm not doing that at all. But it is full of nutrients, And it's allowing my body or teaching my body to work properly with the right nutrition. Eating whole foods will help you. Now, some of the whole foods do have a higher carb or more starch than others. Potatoes versus sweet potatoes are going to have more starch than the sweet potato. The sweet potatoes will have less. Honestly, one of the things that I do if I am in a hurry and I've got, if I didn't prep my meal before, so for lunch, if I didn't prep my meal and I have the ingredients, sometimes what I'll do is I will throw a sweet potato in the microwave and I will cook that, and then whatever I have for leftovers from the night before, if it was steak, if it was, now my steak I use venison because we hunt. So it doesn't have a lot of stuff. So sometimes when you're eating, if you're eating meat, if it's processed, depending on where it's processed at, it could have a lot of fillers, steroids, things like that. The venison doesn't have that. However, let me just make it out in a second. However, if you are having meat, try and make sure that you're having a protein that doesn't have a lot of fillers, such as the steroid, or something like mercury, hard metals. You don't want anything that has hard metals. Those will get you as well. Tim says coffee 2 pots a day keeps the doctor away. That's yet another thing, caffeine. Caffeine in moderation, like most things, in moderation is okay. But with this 10-day detox that I was referring to, coffee is not an option, not even black coffee. And it's trying to remove those addictions that we have. Most of the time when people have coffee, they have coffee with oodles of creamers and things like that. Now there are a lot of you that I know that like it black, then that's fine. But it's still the caffeine. So for me, one of the hardest things was tea. Just not having tea, because I know tea has high caffeine for the most part. But that 10-day detox or a detox that will clean your system, or just relying on whole foods. If you want to keep it simple, whole foods, period. Only eat whole foods. Make it yourself, don't be prepackaged. That'll help you guys. Nutrition is so important, guys. It does help with your brain, your whole body functions, like pretty much everything. So I cannot stress that enough. Please take care of yourself physically, mentally, and eating the right nutrition will in fact help with that. So all these, there's also a guide. I'm going to write this in here. So it is 10-day, what is the resource? Hang on. 10-day. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. I couldn't remember what the link was. Here it is. This is the 10-day detox resource. So in that, that link that I just provided, it does provide information on like a restaurant guide. If you do go to a restaurant, obviously the suggestion is to eat whole foods, make it yourself, have an appreciation for food, that type of thing. But if you do end up going to a restaurant, things that you're going to want, lean more towards slow meals, like fast food places. They're designed to have a lot of fillers, like, what do they call them? Frankenfood, that's what it is. Frankenfood is what they were doing. So, if you want to have more real food, just stick to like Thai, Indian food, Greek food, Italian, Mexican. Now there's definitely some in there, the pastas and stuff like that you want to avoid, but there's a lot that you can benefit from that. Journaling also helps you to maintain a better control over your diet, whether it's a diet or your actual daily living diet. Eating small amounts instead of large amounts of things. Knowing your portions is really important. No matter what meal you're having, Don't be afraid to ask for veggies, for alternatives in meals, especially when you're going to a restaurant. That's the nice thing about a restaurant versus fast food. You can all ask for swaps. So instead of like brown rice or noodles, ask for veggies. And if they're providing you salsa, salsa is a great one to have. Try to avoid some of the sauces and some of the dressings because those have a lot of sugars in them usually, or some unhealthy fats. Healthy fats would be, like healthy fats, not unhealthy, but healthy fats would be coconut oil is fantastic for you. Coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, those are good. Lemons are great for you for dressings, but yeah, try to avoid sugars and gluten and dairy just during this. And it's not a complete lifestyle, but it'll definitely help you. Tim says, coffee de-stress me, keep me from being violent. Yeah, sometimes some of us need that. You do. Make sure you're getting proteins and stuff. But, yeah, so one of those, there's lots of guides on that website for resources and stuff too if you find them handy. I realize that I've taken a lot of your time. I blame it again on the audio. I just realized what time it was, so sorry about that, you guys. Anyway, if you have questions, please reach out to us at 888-668-0698 to get more details on any of the positions that we have available right now. So, and we do have a lot of opportunities, depending, of course, on where you live. We've got dry van opportunities, we have refrigerated, we have flatbed opportunities, and I believe we have one Conestoga position as well. No, excuse me, we have one hopper position as well. Fort Dodge, Iowa, so you can Fort Dodge have a local position, a home daily position for that one. 888-668-0698 to get a hold of one of us, and we'd be happy to answer those questions for you. So again, I just realized what time it was. I apologize for keeping you guys as long as I did, but I'm hoping that I was able to kind of shed a little bit of light on some nutritious suggestions for you, or at least some resources available to you. And if you're on our driven site and on our website, I will also start providing you some of those nutritious facts and helpful things. I'll post some of those here for you between today and tomorrow. And then our bonuses, like I said, we've got a lot of opportunity for you to make a little bit extra on a weekly, monthly, annual basis. So take advantage of it, and we have several recruiters available to help you answer some of those questions for you. If you have them, know where you're at, your scorecard, your fleet manager is most definitely your first point of contact. But if you want to talk to one of the rest of us about it as well, we're available. Open door if you like. Let's take care of it. So as always, I know eating healthy is difficult out on the road, but it doesn't mean it needs to stop you from having a healthy lifestyle. So like I said, here are some of those tips. Make sure that you're having your omega-3s and getting your vitamin D and all that good stuff to keep you healthy. Healthy. Cool beans. All right. I don't see any other questions. There you go. It's Anna's. Love it. Okay, you guys have a great rest of your day and throughout the rest of the week. If you have any questions, you can get hold of us. Or, let's see, 888-668-0698. Tim says full of protein. Yes, well, not just protein, but fats as well. So almond butter has a healthier fat than peanut butter. Peanut butter has a little bit more sugar, that's why, but still better than alternatives. Love me some peanut butter. If you have that. All right, you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll see you next week on our Facebook at Monday, 4 p.m. Central, and on our YouTube next Tuesday, noon Central.